It's not every day that I do a Star Wars video, but wow, I just finished watching episode 10 of season 7 of the Clone Wars, which is wrapping up. Of course, I think one of the most amazing series to ever be created. I mean, of course, there's The Mandalorian, but this is some of the best Star Wars content I've seen in a while. Now, the season as a whole has been okay. You know, the first story arc with the Bad Batch was good. The second one with Ahsoka and, the girls from the bottom of Coruscant. But then now, okay, this Maul story arc that is really kind of wrapping everything up. Okay, so with episode 9, you had Maul is on Mandalore, and you're wondering why exactly is Maul on Mandalore? And now in episode 10, you find out. Now, this is going to have spoilers, so if you haven't seen Clone Wars Season 7, Episode 10, you don't want to get into this. But this is where everything is officially now in the timeline with Episode 3. So while Obi-Wan Kenobi is battling General Grievous and Anakin Skywalker is finding out that Palpatine is Darth Sidious, now Ahsoka Tano, Anakin's Padawan, or former Padawan, is on Mandalore confronting Maul, or the artist formerly known as Darth Maul, who is, of course, no longer Darth Maul anymore because of the rule of two. And you're wondering, what is Maul doing on Mandalore? And he says something when he's in the sewers on Mandalore. He tells his Mandalorian buddies, "At the time, I thought that Dooku was an old fool, but now I see. He and I are the same. One step behind. The dark side has never been stronger." And so then Ahsoka finds out that his mission on Mandalore, Maul's mission on Mandalore, has to do with Anakin Skywalker. And when she's confronting Maul, she wants to know, what do you want with Anakin? And that's where Maul tells her that Anakin is about to become Darth Sidious's new apprentice, that he's been groomed for this for a long time. And of course, Ahsoka says, "No, you don't know Anakin. This cannot be the case." Of course, this goes into Rebels Season 2 when she's having to deal with who Anakin has become and come to that reality. But in this moment, Ahsoka says, "No, you cannot. Like, this cannot be true, because this is coming from Maul. I mean, Maul's a darksider. He's duplicitous, and you can never trust this guy, right? But there are those times when even untrustworthy people can be the person that you need to trust at that time." Now, here's the thing. How did Maul figure this out? I mean, he knows what's going on, and Ahsoka had come to Mandalore. Maul was hoping that Obi-Wan would be the one to come to Mandalore. Now, you thought it was just because he wanted revenge on Obi-Wan for cutting him in half at the waist. But it wasn't that he wanted revenge on Obi-Wan at that time, okay? But he believed that Anakin was going to come with Obi-Wan. Maul's mission on Mandalore was to kill Anakin Skywalker and deny Darth Sidious his apprentice. And so to have his revenge on Darth Sidious. And so Ahsoka showing up kind of just blew all of that out of the water. But here's the thing. It's like, how did Maul know? And you get into this whole thing, which I just love how now this adds so much to Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Because when you think about it, when Anakin suddenly turns to the dark side and becomes the apprentice of Darth Sidious, next thing you know, he's killing younglings. We're thinking, it just didn't seem like what was building up to it. You are in the situation where it's like, okay, this couldn't have happened. This was so quick. But then you realize, like, to Sidious, this was going on for a long time. And so when you think about this, let's think about what happened with the Jedi. When you're watching Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, you're really seeing this from the point of view of the Jedi and of Anakin, that nobody sees this coming. Anakin turns to the dark side very suddenly. Now, of course, you see some kind of dark side moments here, but Anakin Skywalker was always a good person with good intentions and was a great and powerful Jedi. But here's the thing, that when you think about where Yoda says that the dark side has clouded everything, okay? That the Jedi don't have their characteristic ability to see into the future, to use the Force to see into the future. And so they're lacking this ability. Now, enter Maul, where he says the dark side has never been stronger. And so the dark side of the Force is getting its moment. And as the dark side of the Force is getting its moment, the Jedi have no idea what's happening. But then Maul has this clarity where he can see exactly what's happening. And the thing is that Maul knows what needs to be done. Now, of course, Maul doesn't have honorable motives unless you consider revenge honorable, which I guess in a way it is. Maul just wants his revenge on Sidious. But Maul tells Ahsoka Anakin is going to be turned. And of course, Ahsoka, she fights him. She says, no, that can't be the case. But at the end of the day, Maul was right. Of all of the people who could have saved the galaxy at that moment, Maul was the one who could have saved the galaxy from Darth Sidious at that moment. But the key person who was there at the right time wouldn't listen to him. And so that really, just seeing that just adds so much of a dimension to episode 3 that it was just like, wow. Maul saw the plan unfold before anyone else did. Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Yoda, nobody saw it. So the lesson here, sometimes the most trustworthy things can come from the most untrustworthy people. It's always a pleasure.